You need some big man help at the center position, especially with Karl Anthony Towns out for who knows how long now. He has a few guys at center that can help you. The first guy is Karl Anthony Towns' replacement, Naz Reid of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Reid last season, we saw him fill in with some huge ball games, and he was a big fantasy basketball factor. And Reid, he's starting now, obviously. He's available in 83% of fantasy leagues. And Reid, in his first start versus the Los Angeles Lakers last night, 5 for 13 from the field, which wasn't good, 38%. He did add a 3, though. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. So Reid, like I said, we saw him last season have some huge fantasy games and help teams in the playoffs. And right now, his percentage is going up like crazy. He went up from 1% up 16 once that injury news for Karl Anthony Towns went down. So I think Reid's a good pickup. He's going to help in a lot of categories. Just his field goal percentage could be a problem for your fantasy team. But he's a player you want to add. The second guy is Zenith Cantor of the Portland Trailblazers. Zenith Cantor, he's better in fantasy basketball than in real life. In his first couple games now, he's played well. His first game versus Utah on the 23rd, 7 for 7 from the field, 14 points, 8 rebounds. And then versus Houston the other night, 18 minutes, 4 for 5 from the field, 80%. He hit a couple foul shots and 10 points, 9 boards, and a block. So Cantor, he could be a double-double guy, averaging anywhere from 10 to 12 points a game and 7 or 8 rebounds. And like I said, defensively, he's horrible in real life. But for fantasy basketball, just to have a traditional big man in there, getting you double-double stats, especially in head-to-head category leagues, that's a big add. And Cantor, he's available in 85% of fantasy leagues. But people are starting to notice him as well, with his percentage going up 5% ownage. The next center I would add is Ivon Zubach of the Los Angeles Clippers. Zubach, he's been a solid center for this club now the last few seasons, and he's playing anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. And just like a Cantor, he's going to give you pretty much the same type of thing in his first 3 games. His first game at the Lakers, 11 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, steal, a block, 80% from the field. Then at Denver, 2 for 2 from the field, but he still had 12 points. He hit for 8 foul shots that game, but no rebounds. And then in that embarrassing loss yesterday versus the Dallas Mavericks, 3 for 4 from the field, 75%, 10 points and 2 boards. So Zubach, he's going to help in points and boards. His field goal percentage is going to be up there the way it's looking right now. He hasn't shot under 75%. Even though I know his field goals have been limited so far in the early going. But I like Zubach a lot, and he's available in 70% of fantasy leagues. And he's a guy that's going to get some minutes for this ball club. So I think he's a decent add. The next guy's Aaron Baines of the Toronto Raptors. Baines, he's been playing decent for this Raptor team. And he was a pickup in this offseason, obviously, is Baines. And Baines so far in his first 2 games, not bad numbers. December 23rd versus New Orleans, 5 for 9 from the field, 55% from the field that was. He added a 3, 11 points, 9 boards. And then versus San Antonio 2 nights ago, 6 for 11 from the field, 54%. Added another 3 in there, 13 points, 7 boards, and assists. So it looks like Baines, he'll be in the 50% range of shooting, a lot of putbacks and stuff. It looks like he could get you a 3 a game possibly. And he's going to get you 10 to 12 points with 7 to 9 boards per ball game. And that's not bad to add a center on the waiver wire, giving you those type of numbers. And Baines, he's available in 78% of fantasy leagues. And he's going to play a decent amount of minutes. Him and Chris Booker and Alex Len are the bigs over there in Toronto, with Siakam obviously getting major minutes. The next center to add on waivers here is Mason Plumlee of the Detroit Pistons. It was a pretty big loss, in my opinion, for the Denver Nuggets, but the Nuggets, they weren't going to shell out that type of money to Plumlee. And so far, Plumlee in a couple games with the Pistons, he's been pretty decent, and he's getting major minutes. In his first game of the year in Minnesota, 32 minutes, 7 for 8 from the field, 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. And then in his last game versus Cleveland on the 26th, 3 for 6 from the field, 50%, 6 points, 9 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals. So Plumlee, he gives you some good shooting percentage. He's going to get about 7 to 10 points a game and 8 and 9 rebounds a game, I believe. And he could be a guy that could get 4 or 5 assists from the center position, which is pretty good. He's not going to give you many blocks or anything, but I think Plumlee's a solid add, especially with the major minutes. He's going to get there in Detroit. And Plumlee, he's still available in 59% of fantasy leagues, and I like him as an add as center. And the last center I would add on waivers this week is Bismack Biyombo of the Charlotte Hornets. Zeller, he went down with an injury, and we don't know how long he's going to be out. So Biyombo, I know over the years this has happened a lot. He's getting major minutes, but he's not doing much for fantasy owners. But I got to point out that Zeller's out, and Biyombo's having a major role, playing 25-plus minutes in his first 3 games. And in his first game at Cleveland on December 23rd, 11 points, 4 rebounds, a block. Then versus OKC, 2 for 7 from the field, abysmal 28% from the field, 5 points, 9 rebounds, but he did add 4 assists and 2 blocks. And then last night versus Brooklyn in a shocking victory, 5 for 6 from the field, 83% field goal, 12 points, 6 boards, an assist and a block. So Biyombo, he's not going to help in many categories, but he's going to be a decent points guy, 8 to 10 points a game, I believe, 6 to 9 rebounds if possible, with a block to a block and a half a game, and he's available in 88% of fantasy leagues. So if you definitely need a center, he's another decent option to get. So that's a few centers I would look to add here heading into week 2 of the fantasy basketball season.